Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Cancer, October 22, 2022. There's a real tendency to read too much into a situation today, dear Pisces. Challenges you face now can get you in better touch with your vulnerabilities, so it's best to take note. Avoid making quick decisions that are more about fear, guilt, or dread than common sense. Still, the illumination of a tricky subject or a buried frustration can emerge. Although it can surface so that you might finally deal with it, it can make you feel irritable. Sorting through the truths and deeper emotions that arise now can be helpful. Find ways to build your sense of self-worth, value, security, and comfort rather than dwell on what's missing. We tend to overthink and jump to negative conclusions with today's transits. If people or situations are touching your sore spots, take the opportunity to understand yourself. Do not engage with power struggles or conflicts today, Pisces. The cosmic weather is one of absolute darkness. As the sun shivers through the sky, he'll step upon a bombshell laid by powerhouse Pluto, the planet of destruction. Expect to feel fired up about control or domination today, or your partner may, instead. This could create great havoc between you that you ultimately regret. Find a place of peace and serenity inside. That is where you also find your grace. If your fears or insecurities are welling up like demons in the night, it is best to resist their wickedness than give them strength. Do not be afraid to take a leap of faith, Pisces. Invest into connections, events, and aspirations that will be undoubtedly successful when the Sun in Libra squares Pluto in Capricorn while Mercury in Libra opposes Chiron retrograde in Aries. You may notice that there is strength in numbers, so pairing up with the right professionals or attending certain events to network could lead to a greater professional transformation. However, you may need to let go of any power struggles or control issues to avoid entering any potential professional entanglements. After the Sun and Venus have both spent the last few days at odds with the dwarf planet Eris in your income sector, it is Mercury that is keeping the pressure up between both sides of the financial fence. However, it is his smart head for money that allows you to juggle the Sun and Venus final days in your financial sector and Jupiter's final days in your income sector. You are known to many as a slow mover, but actually you have a lot of energy inside you, which is why activities such as yoga and Pilates are recommended. Deep breathing is what makes yoga so beneficial, and many people don't even realize this. Make the most of whatever you do for exercise by breathing deeply as you do it. You will get twice as much out of it and feel reinvigorated without putting any extra stress on your body. The vibrations of the moment will bring some constraints that you will have difficulties escaping from. This isn't serious because your faculties for adaptation and your natural good humor will allow you to be on top of events. It's true that you have less punch than during the last few days, but you are still in reasonable shape. So, the day may be a little rough, but you will find solace in your sentimental life, where you are having success. You have the desire to conquer, so this period will be very favorable. Having the moon in your work sector in the heart of the working week was always going to be an advantage, but it not only comes in the heart of Jupiter's last full week in your income sector, but when there is some tension between both sides of the financial fence. This is more that planets on the income and financial fronts both want your attention at the same time, but it highlights the importance of balance. Both when it comes to a balance between money coming in and money going out and your work-life balance. Even a balance between your personal and relationship needs is important. In the lead up to the moon's return to your relationship sector tomorrow, the focus is still more on holding on to the spirit of romance. 2 days after the moon not only left your romantic sector but gave both the spirit of romance and adventure a boost, this has given you a jump on Venus, the planet of love's mission, when she returns to an adventurous part of your chart over the weekend. Our eyes in the sky. Today brings a healing vibration to balance yesterday's energetic aspects. Mercury in Libra opposes Centaur Chiron in Aries, and this aspect helps you see the overview of what's going on instead of getting caught in the trenches of the current cosmic alignments. It's a new take on an old story with poetic undertones being brought to the surface via this fixed dynamic. This aspect could cause someone or something to try to throw you off your game. Stay mentally positive and know that the shade being sent your way has nothing to do with who you are. It's all about what you trigger in others in general. Sometimes jealousy comes out in weird ways, and, unfortunately, it can be sparked by someone's inability to see who they are in the mirror. Luckily, the karmic connections require everybody to contend with their own demons. Nobody is getting off easy here, and right now zooming out and looking at the forest instead of the trees is the best strategy of all. The square of both Mercury and Venus in Libra to Pluto in Capricorn adds context to the plan and helps those with business ambitions to ground to their ideas. It's a perfect day to dive into your career pursuits, which is where you can meet your competitors head-on. In the morning, the Libra Sun makes its biannual square to Pluto in Capricorn, prompting power struggles. Although conflict may manifest in the form of a partnership dispute or fight with a coworker, Plutonian transits are always indicative of a struggle occurring at an interior, psychological level. We feel out of control now, as if we are a pawn in a game we have not elected to play. Toxic relationship dynamics are highlighted, causing us to question why we put up with hostile treatment. Ultimately, square aspects create tension to expose problematic behavior, and with the exposure comes a choice. Do we continue to yield our power to these stronger and seemingly relentless forces, or do we remove ourselves from the situation? From the Libra Sun's point of view, we might feel obligated to keep the peace. Anger, even righteous anger, poses a threat to our lifestyle, titles, and position of influence. Yet, this transit asks us how much of our confidence we are willing to sacrifice for appearance's sake. Likely, we've done this to get into another's good graces. Yet, we've wound up wondering whether being held in another's esteem is worth the stress. We shouldn't need to hype ourselves up to impress others. Now we assess the matter at hand with a more measured mindset. We've learned it's possible to be excited about something without sacrificing our integrity to see it through. If this is your day to have fun, don't be surprised if it turns sour thanks to an overwhelming feeling that you should be working, or you should be productive in some way. If you are at work today, your overall productivity will be strong. Following this, the Leo moon squares off with Uranus in Taurus, provoking frustration. This aspect adds fuel to the fire of the Sun-Pluto square. Under the Leo moon, we want to feel special and shiny. We want to be recognized for our contributions. And the fact is, we don't feel special today. We feel like we must submit, rather than stand out, to be rewarded. In response, we decide to rebel. Indeed, this influence may tip the scales, finally pushing us to say, "No more." A thoughtless comment or an emotional outburst could seal our fate by spelling the cathartic end of a toxic relationship.